Hello and welcome to this lecture. Today we are going to discuss an important issue about introduction to dietary supplement. And there is very important question that everybody have in their mind that, for example, is somebody using dietary supplements, whether the dietary supplement are the drugs or not. And the question that you have in your mind that what are the dietary supplements? If you take a look of the word, it is a diet tree. The word begin with the word prefix diet. So it means that supplement that come from the diet or that origin is from the food is known as dietary supplements. So first thing is in mind that whether the food will be a drug or not. And a lot of complex questions and answers regarding that is going on. And in context to American society, they have their own regulatory authority, which is known as FDA, which is known as Food and Drug Administration. And they are dealing with the food and the drug both at the same time. Why? Because we know that there are some foods that have an impact on human body, because at the end the food is also consists of the chemical constituents, and that will be maybe helpful for maintaining the physiological process, for providing the nutrients. And actually the problem is that there's a big market of the dietary supplement that claim a lot of benefit from these dietary supplements. So this conflict leads to a confusion where that whether a food is a drug or not. So that's question that you have in your mind. For example, if you take a look of my slides and you found that uh, Saint John wort, it is actually a natural remedy for depression, and actually this is the plant extract, or in simple word, a source of the medicinal plant that is used for treating a depression and improving the mood, anxiety, and sleeping aid. So, is Saint John wort is a drug? That's my question. We know that they are dietary supplement, but whether we call them a drug or not, that's the question. And in my next slide, we are explaining that. So to understand this thing, you need to understand first that what is a drug about, or what is actually a drug. So according to the definition, drug it's what thing that you can say that it is used intended for use in the diagnosis or cure or mitigation or treatment or prevention of a disease in man is a drug. Like if you take a look of my slide and you see paracetamol. Paracetamol is used for treating the fever. Then you can see the ibuprofen is also a drug that is responsible for pain relief. Then we have diclofenac sodium on the left side, commercially available as Voltron for relieving the pain. So they are all our drugs because they are intended to diagnose, especially they are intended to cure or to treat or prevention of a disease in human being. So when we talk about differentiation between the drug and dietary supplement, the main thing is that how can we differentiate both of them? The simple thing is that when you take a herbal supplement or dietary supplement, for example, if for example you buy a product of this, for example, Saint John wort, and they label that contain 300 milligram of tablet containing amount of the plant, and they mention this that for example each tablet consists of 300 milligram of Saint John wort extract, and compared with the again another label that consists of a drug, uh, for example paracetamol, we mentioned 300 milligram of acetaminophen, which is an active ingredient inside the medicine. Both are same? That's the question. So in simple words, both are not same, because for example when we talk about 300 milligram of tablet containing Saint John wort, it means that it contains some amount of the plant, And you have to understand that Saint John wort is actually a plant, and a plant consists of thousands of bioactive compounds, hundreds or thousands of bioactive compounds. It is not a constituent of a single active compound. They are combination of multiple bioactive compounds. A simple example I can give you, in your common life, for example, you are familiar with the advertising, and especially the tea advertising, such as in different countries, there are different tea brands, and most of the tea brand claim that drinking tea will give you refreshment, rejuvenile, or it give you a sense of alertness. And actually, they claim in most of the advertising, I saw in the advertising of the tea, they mentioned that they contain flavonoids. Flavonoids is actually another class of bioactive compounds that are antioxidant. But you cannot compare the tea or herb extract as a drug, because it is a combination of maybe hundreds of more bioactive compounds. But when we take a look on, for example, a drug is always a pure substance. When we talk about paracetamol, the active ingredient is acetaminophen. When we talk about pain relief from a medicine, we have diclofenac sodium. So diclofenac sodium or paracetamol, for example, acetaminophen, they all are present in a pure form, not in a combination form, and they all are known as the drug. Because for the definition of a drug, we know exactly how much active ingredient contained, but in case of dietary supplement, we are not aware of that, because it is extracted from the plant, and the herbal supplement containing maybe a number of bioactive compounds, and we are not sure of exactly how much a substance. In America, actually, they also tried to implement the Dietary Supplement Safety Act. In 2010, Senator John McCain introduced that Supplement Safety Act. The proposed law would require to manufacturers of dietary supplement to register with FDA, because FDA again stand for Food and Drug Administration, and provide complete list of ingredients. But the problem with that there is a big mafia over that in America, and the dietary supplement is a big market in America. So they put lot of pressure against these rules and regulation, and then because of that pressure, they have to withdraw these regulations. So you can see that it is how much strong a lobby of the dietary supplement that in the world exists. And you know that dietary supplement is so much a big industry that in the United States, we found that the sales of such products for all indications is about more than $30 billion in the US, and estimate about the global sale exceeded to $100 billion. So you can see that it is a big market, and big market, and they don't want to come under the laws and rules and regulations. They don't want to come under rules and regulations, especially with in the US under FDA. And this is a big question that I will leave on you, that uh, whether the herbal supplements or the food supplement is the part of drug, because as we know that the drug is almost, it is used for intended to diagnose, cure, and treatment. But when a person or even anyone is selling the dietary supplement, their intention is not to cure that treatment. They always mention in the label. If you take a look of any carton or any box of the dietary supplement, they always mention that it is not intended to diagnose or cure or for a treatment of a disease. Most people use dietary supplements, if they mention even as well, for the management of the disease, not for the treatment. Whereas a drug is always intended to cure or to mitigate or to prevent or to treat the patient. So that's a big difference when we compare. And the second thing, you need to understand that the herbal supplement is actually sometimes plant extract, sometimes they may be of animal origin. sometimes they may be some other sort of origin, but they are not in the pure form. They are in maybe in the form of plant extract, plant containing so many compounds, so many bioactive compounds. If I tell you the name of the compounds, you get mad because there are so many bioactive compounds. So you have to understand this thing, that it is a big complex thing, and every government is trying to put them under regulation and try to standardize the process. And nowadays companies is trying to standardize the extract. They're trying to find out that how much active inside that extract, and still, but this is too preliminary. Pharmaceutical companies nowadays also making the herbal supplements. So thank you so much for today's lecture. Hope to see you again.